Today I'm going to walk you through the 5 MCP servers I use every single day. This is my 2026 setup, and this is the MCP stack that runs my 100,000 subscriber newsletter, AI newsletter, ships paying client AI builds, and turns Claude from a chatbot into an actual operator for you. 5 servers, connected once, and I use them every day. So we're going to be hopping between the guide here and Claude here, and I'm going to walk you exactly through the connectors I have set up. Not sure why that's turned off. All the connectors I have set up, and then we'll go back to the guide. If you want this guide for yourself so you can walk through it and not have to, pause and rewind the video, you can get it in the AI Academy. It will be the first link in the description. This is my free AI school group. Launched about 3 weeks ago, 3,000 people already in here, completely free. We have guides, we have news now, discount codes and perks, a lot of great stuff in here, and you can find this guide, first link in the description, for free. So make sure you join that community. So the setup. If you read the MCP explainer in yesterday's video, where I explained what an MCP is in about 7 minutes and why it's important to understand in this new age of AI, this guide is that next question. Which MCP servers should you actually install? And there are hundreds available, and most YouTube videos are going to throw 20 at you and tell you to install them all and figure it out. I'm taking a different approach. These are the 5 that I actually run, the exact stack, what each one does, and the one workflow I run on each one daily. If you're new to MCP, make sure again that you watch this video. I think it will break down a lot and just show you a lot before we hop into this guide here. So why I get to tell you this, as I mentioned before, I run a 100,000 subscriber AI newsletter, over 30 million channel views, 100 million impressions in May of 2026 alone. Built and sold a small AI startup at Middlebury when I went to college. Sneaker business, just some entrepreneur validation there. And then I ship paying AI clients every week. If you want to work with me, you can go to founderdrew.com. We have brand partnerships, UGC one-on-one, done-for-you builds, and then also all my free stuff, newsletter, academy, and then the paid group as well. And I install these MCP servers for clients all the time. I've tested over 30 of them. As I said, there's hundreds out there, but I think these are the main 5 that you need. I also have a bonus list if you want to expand. The filter I use before connecting any MCP server is don't connect an MCP server unless you'll actually use it daily. Every server you connect to your AI client gives the AI more options to choose from. If you add 20, the AI may not know where to go. Should I use Gmail or should I use Slack for this? Less is more, and the right 5, I think, beats a sloppy 20 of these every single time. So the 5 I use every single day. The first is the Gmail MCP. It gives Claude access to read, search, draft, and send emails from your Gmail account. It's in my daily stack because obviously I use email for my work and my business. The one workflow I run daily, a morning inbox triage from cowork. Read my unread emails from the last 12 hours. You can set this up as a skill so it will automatically be in your inbox. Surface 3 that actually matter for me. Pro tip, pair Gmail MCP and the calendar MCP, which we'll get into below. The AI can cross-reference between those. So we're going to go over into Claude. And if you don't know where connectors are, you can go connectors here. You can also go down here to your settings. You can go settings, connectors, customize. So, as I said, I don't have a lot of MCPs. But, and again, if you don't know what an MCP is, Model Context Protocol, go watch the video from yesterday. It's 7 minutes. It breaks down everything you need to know of why MCPs are important, why they were a breakthrough from Anthropic, and why we use them today. So I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to get into the ones I have here. Watch the video from yesterday if you don't know what MCP is. So you see all your connectors are MCPs here. I have Beehive, Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, Notion, OpenBrain. This is the one I might get into later. This is more of a personal project. You can have GitHub as well. And inside each MCP, you can go over here to the right side, and you can change the tool of what it automatically has access to. So let's go to Gmail, for instance, and let's say that you wanted your Claude agent to not be able to delete a label. So you go down here, delete a label, and you have a check mark, which means it can do it automatically. You have the hand, which means it needs approval from you, so it will prompt you in the chat. Or you have the X, which means it's blocked and it can't use it. For most things, for me, I like for Claude to still ask, just to make sure it's going down the right path. But up to you, you can customize all these. I've gone through and customized every single MCP here. So I believe the first one, I'm going to pull up 2 chats here. The first one we have here is Gmail. So the Gmail MCP, if we go in here, go to connectors, you can turn them on and off as well. You didn't need that. So Since the Gmail connector is on, it has access to my inbox. So I could prompt it with something like, I'm going to use Whisper Flow here. What's the most important email in my inbox right now? So instead of having to go over to my Gmail inbox and search through my inbox, again, this is a pretty broad example. You could do, what are 5 brand deals that have reached out to me over the past 2 weeks? What is the most important thing that I'm missing in my inbox? What are my unread emails? And you can just stay in the chat and do everything here. You can respond here. You can write a draft here. You can forward something here. Super useful. Zapier alert. Yep. So one of my Zapier alerts from Beehive to my school has an error. Great. So want me to pull the full Zapier alert email? So sure. So now it's going to pull that email from my inbox. You can see how after a while with Cowork and Claude Code, you can just sit in this terminal and not have to leave. You don't have to be clicking back and forth between tabs. You can write everything here, which is super helpful, especially if you have multiple tabs going, for being time efficient. So it will pull my email here in a sec. You could draft a response to the email here. You can do anything you could do in your Gmail inbox, but in Claude. Super helpful. We'll see this when we come back, but we're going to hop to number 2, the Google Calendar MCP. So if you go here, I believe we have them all enabled. I'm just going to double check. Yep, they're all enabled. So again, if I wanted everything here but Google Calendar, I could just flip this off. And now it doesn't have access to my Google Calendar, but we're going to leave them all on. Low battery. Nice. Google Calendar gives Claude access to your calendar, read events, find availability. Why it's in my daily stack, scheduling, most important thing. I like to time block my day into 15-minute increments. Super helpful for this. Daily agenda brief. You can do this in Slack. I prefer it in email. Pro tip, use dispatch mode for scheduling on the go. Text your AI, find a 30-minute slot the next week with Sarah. Send her 3 options. You can do this for dates. You can do this for whatever. I'm a big Google Calendar advocate. I know some people don't like to live by their Google Calendars. I love it. 7 alerts. Okay. Yep, so it pulled. Okay, great. What's on my calendar for this coming Saturday? So again, if you ask this without the MCP server or without the MCP connected, it would not be able to access your Google Calendar. But since it's mine, I don't know what it's going to pull up here, to be honest. I like to just schedule things out in the distance. For those of you that are new here, new videos every single day. Make sure to subscribe. We do them in one take, raw, authentic, AI value. Course masterclass. Oh yes, I forgot I signed up for that. Okay, say pulled, bang, done, great. And if you want multiple Google Calendars and multiple Gmails, you can hook that up in the MCP settings as well. Google Drive MCP gives Claude access to read, search, edit, and create files in Google Drive. What does my daily stack? You can run client work. So if I had a client, Jeff, for instance, that wanted to build his first AI agent, I could say, access Jeff's files in my database, all the granola recordings, everything like that. Client deliverable, yep. And use this document-heavy workflow. So if we go back into Claude, I'm going to say, create a doc in my Google Drive and title it Example for YouTube Recording. So Claude's going to take that. It has access to my Google Drive. It will create the doc, and then it will pull it up, clickable. I can click into it. We're going to watch this one run here. And then I believe we have 2 more at the end of this video here. Yep, Notion, Beehive, and then ones I don't connect, an honorable mentions list, OpenBrain I want to talk about a little bit, what the stack replaces, how to connect them, which we talked about. Exciting stuff. Done. Yep, you can just click here, open the lock, open the doc. Oh, and then I would just be able to start typing here. Right? See how simple that was? Instead of going over here, clicking into creating the document, not titling the document. This was so much faster. And then you can edit the doc from inside of Claude as well. The fourth is the Notion MCP. So it gives Claude access to your Notion workspace. Read pages. That's where I store a lot of my guides before I move them over to the school community. Guide generation, you can use Notion AI for that. And then Beehive MCP. I'm going to go through these last 2 quickly. I realize it's a long recording already. Claude access your Beehive newsletter subscriber data. So I run a 100,000 subscriber newsletter. Post send preference. If you don't run a newsletter, swap this MCP for something else like Slack, Salesforce, Shopify. But it's super helpful for me because I can go in here and I can say, what were the metrics on the recent newsletter send? Give me open rate and how many people it sent to. So again, instead of having to open up another tab, if I just have a quick question and I want it done, it will use that MCP to go to Beehive, get the data for me, pull it back. Again, I think certain MCPs are quicker than others. It really depends on what you're doing. Like the doc creation we just had with Google Drive. Super quick, super easy. Excuse me. Beehive, so I always have it allow. Just because I want to, especially with sensitive data like that where it's worth quite a bit and I really care a lot more about what it's doing, right? Like creating another Google Doc in my Google Drive is like, it's not going to ruin anything. But when it's going into Beehive and accessing those emails, I just want to make sure it's doing everything right. Like right now it's going into the workspace. It's going to pull those numbers for me. The Beehive one just takes a second again because a few more parameters. But again, it may not be quicker while we're just waiting here, but it's quicker if you're like doing other work. If you have 3 of these tabs going, this is going to be a lot quicker to come back and get your answer than going, logging in. Yep, so the Pope, this one got sent to 70,000. We've blown up quite a bit since then. 99% delivery rate, almost a 40% open rate. Amazing. Click-through rate was small. Bounce rate was small. Yeah, click-through rate we need to get up. I agree. Great. Finishing up the guide here again. First link in the description if you want it. Honorable mentions. Slack MCP. I use this for work all the time. GitHub if you want to push stuff. OpenBrain is my own personal knowledge layer, custom built. If you guys want a guide on this was inspired from Nate B. Jones. He has a Substack. Co-working Chrome, also super useful. What I don't connect is the Twitter one. I think it's really noisy. Multiple MCPs, Drive, Dropbox. Keep it all in one place, guys. Niche industry tools, I just don't use too much. The rule I usually use is connect them because you have a specific recurring job for them to do, and you're actually going to use them. Again, we've talked about this, but I'm sure someone will still watch this guide and import 30 of them. What this stack replaces: email triage, scheduling, document creation, knowledge base, and then newsletter operations. I kind of went through each one of those when I explained them. It honestly covers 80 to 75 to 80% of my operational work, so I can just do this all in the terminal. How to connect these, we talked about this. But this would be my list. Gmail first, Google Calendar second, probably in this order. Gmail is such a game changer. Google Drive, again, if you're working with a lot of docs. If you watch the MCP Explainer first, if you haven't, I'd suggest go watching that video. But you know the foundation for what an MCP is and how to actually use them. The third piece is the workflows, specific prompts. Let me know if you want to see that. But in the community here and just around the AI space, I've heard a lot of people sound unconfident when they're talking about MCPs and what they actually are. So I hope this was useful. If you like this walkthrough, members inside the AI Academy Plus are taking what we learned. We're just revamping this school group now. Tons of guides. I think we have 2 free guides in the free group right now. Let's see. I think we have an agents. Let's see. 30-day, yep, and then an agents. We'll have 10 AI money making method courses in here. Well over 200 hours. It's gonna be great. I think we're gonna make this like $40 too. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for people to start getting in there. Yeah, if you want to join the community, first link in the description. We have a little post at the bottom of each one where people can talk about the video, what they saw. Always people chatting in there, seeing what they see in the industry. Yeah, subscribe. I drop a video every single day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Deuces.